Hi viewers, welcome to another episode of 3 Minute Chess Openings. Today we are going to go over the Nimzo-Larsen attack. We are going to look at it from the black perspective. If you play this opening as white, this video is going to help you to know what to play and what to avoid while playing the Nimzo-Larsen attack. So the opening starts with b3, e5, bishop b2, knight c6, e3, d5, and now white can play several moves, knight f3, knight c3 or bishop b5. So let's first go over knight f3. Now black can also play a number of moves. The engine recommends e4. Now white can play knight e5 or knight to d4. So if you play knight e5, it will give a more or less equal position. If you play queen f6, white can play bishop b5. That is just better for white. So I'd recommend knight takes e5. After bishop takes e5, knight f6, d4, e takes d3, bishop takes d3. Black can develop the bishop to d6, give a check, or play c6. Now if white plays knight to d4, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, knight e7, keeping both options open, bishop b2, knight c6, d3, e takes d3, bishop takes d3, and queen g5. Now castling will pose a great danger to the white king, so white plays queen f3, bishop g4. Now queen f4 is not so good because of queen takes f4, e takes f4, knight b4, h3, and bishop d7 is just better for black. If white plays h4, the white queen is silly and the black queen is sillier. So bishop takes e5, bishop takes f3, g takes f3, knight takes e5 is a comfortable position for black. Now what if white plays queen to g3? Against this, play bishop d6, and when white plays f4, set a trap for your opponent. If he plays bishop takes g7, play bishop e7. If he falls for the trap, it's great for you. You're completely winning. And if he doesn't, don't worry, the engine evaluation is still minus 1.5. So after bishop b2, there are better ways, but a tricky move is bishop to h3. Now only white's g pawn can block this line. The best move is rook g1, but after g takes h3, bishop h4 is again using a similar trap to win the queen. On move 4, if white plays bishop b5, then you can play bishop d6, protecting this pawn once again. Now if he plays knight f3, if he plays knight f3, then you can continue with bishop g4, h3, bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, knight f6, and the position is fine. It's almost equal. And if he plays f4 instead, then f6, f takes e5, f takes e5, bishop takes c6, b takes c6, and now bishop takes e5. Now black thinks that white will play queen h5 if he plays bishop takes d5 and regain the bishop. But if black notices another counter combination, he is completely winning. That is queen h4 check, g3, and queen e4. Now you may think white will also get a rook after bishop takes g7. Yes, that is true, but let me show you the winning continuation for the following lines. It happens like this if white plays bishop takes h8. Now, if white plays king to f2 after king e7, if white plays king to f2, then black plays bishop takes g3, check. Now white cannot capture with this pawn because he will lose his queen. And if he takes with the king, he will lose his knight and his bishop also. What if he gives queen h4 check first? In that case, black will simply play king f7, and after bishop takes h8, queen takes g1 check, king e2, queen g2, king d3, bishop f5 check, king c3, and after queen e4, white is bound to exchange queens, and black will emerge with an extra piece. That's all. Those were some of the nice lines in the Nimzo-Larsen attack. I exceeded the time limit because I was too excited to stop, but I hope you enjoyed the video.